You know, my good friend Tim Schmidt never ceases to amaze me with some of the vehicles he likes to add to his collection. But the other week, he caught me completely off guard.
It had to be you.
Tim likes to drop in unexpectedly. He always brings something interesting, to say the least.
So she's finished?
Well, she's roadworthy. Still work in progress.
No clearance issues, eh?
No clearance issues, none whatsoever. It's a cool bus. I was surfing the internet one day. I didn't know what I was looking for, and I actually stumbled across this thing.
I like the little flourishes, like want to be cool, stay in school. Did you stay in school?
Me neither.
For about a week, I kept going back to it, and it was still online. Nobody had bought it, so I decided to make the guy a ridiculous offer, and he took my ridiculous offer. Well, this was actually a school bus before.
Oh, is that right?
This was built in Oshawa, and I found it in Vancouver Island. It was already painted like this. It was already a little camper, but it just wasn't me.
Yeah.
So I changed it up.
That's neat. That really is.
It's a good use of the
Back half?
Yeah.
Because you're old.
Right, I go to the car show now, and at least I got somewhere to nap. It's got a little 502. It goes down the road nice.
Yeah. And it's hardly using any fuel.
Oh, no, none at all. It had dual wheels on the back of it. So what I actually did was change all the suspension so I could slam it right to the ground. I drive it everywhere. If I gotta go and get groceries, I'll take that. If it's out front, I'll take that, no problem.
You gonna take me for a ride or what?
Yeah, let's go.
All right.
Hipster, come here. Watch your head when you get in.
Hipster or me?
I mean, you have to understand, it's sitting on the ground, you know, so it has to have hydraulics. And I mean, honest to God, I've sat in boats at the dock doing exactly the same thing. It was like,
Oh, you could get seasick in here, couldn't you?
A little bit.
you know, people have asked me, what's the purpose of this kind of suspension? And I don't know. I don't.
Co-pilot?
Go pilot.
Well, it's an unusual seating position, I must say
Yeah,
that.
I know. My wife hates it.
Well, yeah, because she's sitting here beside you, looking out over there.
I don't like it either. When they first gave it to me, I said, guys.
And you're looking out forward, and you're going to get a sore neck.
You know what? I cruise on the highway at 70 miles an hour, and it's like if I was driving my Rolls Royce. Nice and smooth. It really is.
Tim likes to say it's smooth. It actually is smooth, it's just noisy.
Well, at least I have appropriate hair for this.
Yeah,
So the 97 Defender came in a few months ago and initially came in for just an assessment and to have the interior replaced. It had a really unique Louis Vuitton interior at the time. Not my thing. I'm a, meat and potatoes guy. It's a little bit out there for me.
Everybody knows that I really like Land Rovers, and Defenders are certainly Land Rovers. But this one is really special because it was owned by Rob Stewart, who was the creator, director, producer, sound man, cameraman, everything for the amazing documentary film Sharkwater. This was his favorite vehicle, and he used it a lot before he passed away. I never had the pleasure of meeting Rob Stewart. He died in a diving accident, and his parents decided to bring this truck to us to do a bunch of work. They basically want to continue its use with their production company. They're still in the middle of editing footage that Rob shot over his life.
It had already been repaired a number of times. I mean, this thing had staples and plastic cable ties and things holding it together that you couldn't see underneath the wrap. We're gonna try to bring it back to more of a factory-style interior than the over-the-top interior that it was. Nice thing is, a lot of parts are available for the interior. So we've basically got the dash works back into it, done wraps on them. We've got a new console into it. There's not many remnants of the Louis Vuitton that was in there before. and it's really coming to a clean look. I mean, we bought new pieces for the ends because these ones, they were glued on. These pieces have been wrapped and redone, same as down here. Cleb actually did some really magical work on, the AC unit because the covers for them, very hard to find. Just giving it that clean look, bringing it back to the way it would have been when it came out of the factory.
We had this great Carman Ghia come in. The owner loves the car and the styling. It's quite a nice little car. Just needs a once-over and a few small fixes.
It's a Volkswagen, same engine and brakes and suspension as a Volkswagen Bug would have, but they put a fancy little sporty body on it.
These little Volkswagens were called Carman Ghias for a very simple reason. The design of it came from the design house Ghia in Italy, and Carman created all the bodies for Volkswagen. So they would make the bodies, ship them to Volkswagen, Volkswagen assembled the cars. The body itself is all one piece. There are no separate fenders. It's all been welded together by hand.
It's a cool-looking little car, and I've seen a few of them hot-rodded out, and they look really neat when they're customized. So I got a new distributor to install in this little Volkswagen. Hey, Mike, I'm looking for a distributor for a Carman Ghia.
I just so happen to have a distributor for a Carman Ghia.
Yeah. Vacuum Advanced is not working on the old distributor. I mean, it was cheaper just to buy a whole distributor than just to buy the Vacuum Advanced. So I got to pull the old distributor out and install the new one. Pretty simple engine. They made them for many years, and there wasn't much changes. They got bigger over the years and more horsepower, but basically the same air-cooled design. That's it. Out she comes.
You'd have to think of the driving force behind Volkswagen creating the Carman Ghia was to take advantage of the sports car market. They had the Volkswagen 411, which was like a little station wagon or a small coupe or sedan, but it really never took off like Volkswagen Beetles. People were pretty fond of the Beetle, mainly because of the advertising campaigns of the period. Unlike most foreign sports cars, it was easy to service. You could take it to any Volkswagen dealer in North America.
Once we got this in and the engine started back up, I'll put the timing light on it, and we'll set the timing exactly. That's it. Pretty quick and easy, that one. Too easy. I'm actually in disbelief. It's rare. Usually, you fight. With these old cars, you start with a quick and easy job. Figure, okay, that should just take me a few minutes. I don't want to break it. There's always something, either a strip screw or a seized bolt or something. Oh. Huh. Woo, look out. Let's see if it starts. Big job of the day.
I keep on thinking your door's open because I can see through there. That's just weird.
All right, let's go for a little ride here. Needs some brake work.
I'm heading to my friend Tim Schmidt's place.
Well, that should be an interesting day. Tim's got another new toy. He's got a McLaren Senna as a companion piece to his P1. It arrived, and he hasn't managed to get it plated or anything at this point. So I'm bringing him a garage plate so that we can do a test drive with it. Look.
Beauty.
Something to go driving with.
Yes.
So that's going to be a little frustrating. How long you had it now?
For a while. It's a 2019 McLaren Senna. It's nice to finally get to drive the car.
This is like brand new to me. I've never even driven it.
So this is a voyage of discovery. Do you have an owner's manual?
Yeah, somewhere.
Oh, there you go. McLaren's been building road-going cars for a while, but I mean, McLaren is more known for Formula One and for track cars.
I gotta let it warm up a bit.
This is a huge leap away from the P1.
It is.
What they've done is they've taken a pedigreed track car and they've tamed it down just enough to get past government regulations to put it on the road. And that's what this car is. It is a track-going supercar that got turn signals. Of course, one of the obvious things about this car, being a track car, is its name. It's called the Senna, as a tribute to Ayrton Senna, who unfortunately has passed. Ayrton was a Formula One driver, and he drove with McLaren from 1988 to 1993. In that time, he won 3 F1 championships. He died in 1994, hitting a concrete barrier at the San Marino Grand Prix in Italy. At the time, he had been in the lead. The engineers stated that it was his legacy and his determination to be the best that led them to put his name on the newest McLaren.
I mean, This is all about aerodynamics and power to weight ratios. It's going to be interesting seeing you learning the car, because I think you're going to find that there's a difference.
Looking forward to going for our first drive. I'm not going to
Yeah.
do what I did the last time. Let's put it that way. I'm not driving that
I mean,
way.
not like
No.
the Bugatti?
Holy, does this thing move?
I already had miles on that. Okay?
Yeah, yeah.
That's
I mean,
absolute
this is-
learning process today for me.
And it's such a work of art.
Yeah, no, it is too.
You know, I love the interior.
Oh, so do I.
The English, even when they're building a supercar, just do the most beautiful interiors.
Even the bucket seats in the interior is, while it's luxurious, spare enough to represent what the car truly is, and that is a car designed for the racetrack.
I love these doors.
Yeah, I do too.
They're called butterfly doors, and I mean, they're dramatic.
The actual architecture of the door is fabulous. You know, you look down this door and
Got a nice scoop. That's where all the stones go.
yeah.
Honestly, they're my favorite part of the whole damn car.
Oh, I got to see how much gas I got. Got to figure this thing out.
So Tim is now learning the car. These are really complex mechanisms, eh? And I mean, he's got this computer in the center there, and he's just finding out, because we're men, and men don't need handbooks. So is that doing anything?
That's ride height.
Oh,
But I don't even know where my windows are.
all right. I hate touching anything, because it's all so clean and beautiful. Well, so far it handles nicely. I keep on thinking your door's open because I can
No,
see through there.
yes, I know.
That's just weird. Again, oh, close your door, Tim. No, wait, it is closed. Still, it sounds pretty good.
Passenger not belted in.
Oh. All this technology and everything, and it's just an ordinary seatbelt. I would have thought that little sensitive fingers would reach out and clasp your body into the seat.
Okay, we're going for a drive.
The first drive.
First drive.
Okay, right now I have to set the ignition timing on the 1971 Volkswagen Carman Ghia.
What that means is when the spark plug fires. So I have the timing light hooked up to #1 cylinder. So every time that spark plug sparks, my light flashes. So I got a timing mark on here, so indicating top dead center. That's when the piston's at the exact top of its stroke, going up. Now it's reversing and going backwards. We gotta make the spark happen before it reaches top dead center. Give it some advance, so it gives it time to burn. You see the timing mark? You see it's over here now, so I can put some advance in it. So I'm setting the timing now, about 10 degrees of crankshaft rotation before top dead center. Engine speed goes up, the advance goes up too. When we rev it up, you see it move, which is maybe about 28 degrees before top dead center. Let's see, let's put 28 in here. When I rev it up, it should stay. But made it happen. Seems to run okay. All right, let's go for a little ride here. Needs some brake work.
The Carman Ghia was introduced in Europe in 1955. It sold in North America from 1956 to 1974. The Carman Ghia tried to offer something in the way of rear-engine platform, like a Volkswagen Beetle, but giving people a sports car.
Well, it seems to run okay, a tiny bit sluggish, but it is an automatic, so it's not gonna have the pep like a manual transmission, but it's got no brakes. Brake pedal goes right to the floor, so I gotta fix that up before I get out in the road for a proper road test. That's the next step, get it up on a hoist and check the brakes. See why I got a low pedal.
It feels like a track car. It's a little hard on the kidneys, sometimes the bladder.
I'm getting very little flow. Should be filling up. So I got a restriction somewhere in the line.
Tim bought himself one hell of a new car. The Senna is designed to go fast. What's pushing this car down the road is a 4-liter twin-turbo V8. Power to the wheels, 7-speed dual-clutch transmission. And what all that develops is 789 horsepower. If you want to, it'll do a quarter mile in 9.9 seconds.
It feels like a track car.
You feel every little bump.
It's a little hard on the kidneys, sometimes the bladder.
Rough rides at low speeds are very common in very competent supercars, simply because it's been designed to be able to take shocks at 150, 160 miles an hour. Tim gave her just a little shot of gas, and boy, she stepped out sideways.
Whoa. Feel that?
Twitchy, yeah.
The ass end just breaks loose.
I was not expecting that.
I mean, she just turned back in, just moved out on you.
Absolutely.
And you weren't even hard on the throttle.
No, I wasn't.
Yeah.
It was like, wow, this has got some power behind it.
Well, it doesn't take much because there's just no load.
509 pounds of torque means one thing. When she's slow, she's twitchy.
People get in and they don't understand that cars like this, it's gonna behave the least well when you're going these speeds. As soon as you get over 110, 120 miles an hour, when the aerodynamics take into effect and they're actually squashing you down.
That's how it was.
The
when it
car
starts
settles
to
down,
work.
they feel good, they set themselves down on the road. So, in all things that count, it's a great car.
It is.
I mean, if you want cup holders, you buy a minivan.
That's right.
Yeah.
This car's pedigree is all about speed, from the aerodynamic functions of its coachwork to the immense and raw power of that engine sitting right behind you.
So you happy?
Why wouldn't I be happy? Life's too short not to be happy.
It's more like a spaceship than a car, really, isn't it? I mean, I think that's what I like about it.
I kind of enjoyed that. Now
Yeah,
I wish
me
I had
too.
a plate.
So I got a little Volkswagen Carman Ghia, and the brakes aren't working. So now I got to figure out where the master cylinder is. We'll get the wheels off it. Well, you can tell the brakes aren't working. Not even cleaning the rust off the brake rotors. When I hit the brakes out there, the back brakes locked up. Nothing coming out of the front brakes. All right, there's the master there. All right, first thing to do is try to bleed the brakes and see if we get any fluid coming out of the front. So I'd hook it up to the bleeder screw and put some vacuum in this so I can open the bleeder. It should suck the brake fluid out of the caliper. Instead of having somebody pump the brake in the car, I can do this somewhat by myself here. I'm getting very little flow when I crack the bleeder here. I'm not getting anything, basically. It should be filled up. So I got a restriction somewhere in the line. So I think it's this flex line here. So I get that cracked off here. Looks kind of old. It's been on there a while since the car's been painted at least. Let's just see here. Clean it. I don't want to put my lips. I got to put my lips on here. Just as expected. It's plugged. So that brake fluid's not getting in through here to the brake. And sometimes that'll happen, it'll go through and apply the brake, but won't let the fluid back out so the brake sticks on, so it can go either way. Sometimes what people do is when they're doing brake board, they'll take a pair of vice grips and clip them on here. So the brake fluid doesn't run out, but that damages the inside of the line, or just over time. So I should be able to blow through this quite just like a straw, but I've got nothing. So we'll get a new flex line and go from there.
Yeah, that's way, way better. It was a little too tarted up last time.
Oh, yeah.
Now it looks like a Land Rover.
Yeah. So the 1997 Defender, the family decided that they were going to go with all new seats. So Dan's going to jump on it so we can get the vehicle back to the owners.
When they were bringing the truck in, I heard all this hype about this Louis Vuitton material, so I was kind of interested in seeing what the deal was, but oh, smoke. I was expecting it to look like a Louis Vuitton handbag. Instead, it just looked like someone glued Louis Vuitton on everything, and that's it. So what I did was I put some cardboard and some vinyl, wrapped it, goes down the front, covers it all up nice, looks nice. It's this kind of classic vehicle, and I guess everybody does their own thing to it once they get it, but I think it's coming back to what it should have looked like. So these are the new seats we got in. They look pretty sharp, pretty well done. And to put these new seats in, all it is 4 bolts, so it just installs into 2 little pegs at the back, and then it slides into the front. Seat frame's brand new, no scratches. All the mechanisms work. There's your seat. It's a good thing that they did go with something new because it looks nice and smells fresh. Yeah, I like these seats a lot more than the ones I had before.
Check it, see how Dan made out.
So So is she done?
Yeah, it's done. It's definitely a step up.
Yeah, that's way, way better. Now it looks like a Land Rover.
Yeah.
It was a little too tarted up last time.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, a little Bordello-ish.
Yeah.
These are nice seats, eh? Actually.
Yeah, they're nice. They look good. And the heated seats would come in real handy with the soft top.
Yeah.
I'm getting spoiled in my old age.
Yeah. You know, Land Rover's windows, you know, these are pretty good because usually as you accelerate, even at the mediocre ability of a Land Rover, they slide closed, and when you brake, they slide open. These feel like they're actually going to stay where you put them.
It really came together nice. I mean, the guys did a really great job with it.
And we redid the back as well?
Yeah. Then we put the jump seats in. There you go.
Yeah, they haven't changed anything. Exactly the same jump seat
yeah.
in my 1960.
But they'll do their job.
That's a hell of a lot better looking. That's a really nice truck.
And now the fronts and the backs match.
I think that the owners, Rob's parents, are going to be pleased with that. Rob Stewart, you know, he did so much that they figured that there's several more films that they can get out of the footage he shot. And I really sincerely hope they do, because what he did was really important. So, worthwhile, very worthwhile, and sort of near and dear to my heart.
I think they're going to be happy, and it's going to give them pretty much problem-free driving for quite a while.
This has got sort of a Land Rover-y class to it.
I like the clean look, though.
You never go wrong with black interior in a black truck. Yeah. Especially a convertible, except in the summertime when the roof's down. Well, then you wish you had a white interior in a white truck. All right.
Perfect.
Thanks, Rick.
Okay.